into the house. Come on, come on. I can see you.
As a horror aficionado, I've been following the evolution of found footage closely over the years, and with that has come heaps of criticisms and vitriol toward the technique. But is found footage honestly a bad thing? The argument is that it's a cheap and easy way to get money and reel audiences in, but doesn't the same extend to a flashy and explosive action film or a subpar comedy? Every genre has its manipulative ways of attracting mass audiences, but found footage does so through one particular facet: genuine fear. Since the camera fixates on one particular character, moving and shaking as they do, it builds a unique and empathetic connection between the audience and filmic human. To understand why found footage is an excellent tool for storytelling and evoking audience emotion, we have to harken back to its inception. While the popular opinion is that the Blair Witch Project was the first film to utilise the technique, there was a small bootleg film that made waves 10 years prior to Daniel Myrick and Eduardo Sanchez's 1999 film. The McPherson tape, released in 1989, was a first-person found footage film about real-life alien abduction. This circulated around the UFO community and added more fuel to the mythical fire. This was ahead of its time. Why? Well, think about it. The creators spent circa $5,000 to create this and targeted the American UFO community. They knew people would watch it, and it would spark chatter and controversy. It was an interesting, unique, and outright revolutionary form of storytelling. People still discuss its legitimacy today, which stands as a testament to the quality of found footage. Yet while this film barely reached mass audiences, it worked as an obvious inspiration for the Blair Witch Project. If the McPherson tape passed the torch, the Blair Witch Project received it and ran as fast as it could. Created for virtually nothing, it made circa $250 million at the box office. Found footage enabled this film to market itself smartly, exploiting the rise of the internet to circulate mock videos and posters around the virtual world. Pair that with the technique and you have a wholly believable film rooted in reality. It took the trope of stupid young adults lost in a remote location to another level. The truly intense and intimate style of filmmaking still gets audiences' bloods rushing today as it did back then. The unnerving movement of the camera, the harrowing final scene, tension is built expertly, not through sound or character performance, script or editing, but through the camera movement itself. The final shot is petrifying, an emotion which probably would not have been evoked if found footage had been left to the side and never utilised. Since 1999, the found footage technique has taken horror by storm and expanded into other genres. Interestingly, Josh Trank's Chronicle would be the next found footage film to take found footage up a couple of levels. In fact, it was one of the very first non-horror films to utilise the technique. Due to the characters having telekinetic powers and the ability to fly, Trank was able to revolutionise the static style of found footage. Up until this precise point, the technique was simple and formulaic in its execution, either facing in the character's direction or focusing on a close-up of their own face. Enabling the characters to use their telekinesis on the camera, Trank was able to enforce creativity and float the camera around utilising unique shots. We don't even question the legitimacy of it all because one, like all coherent found footage films, we are given an explanation for the camera, and two, the character traits and powers enable the camera to move freely. Now, the argument that found footage is a get-rich-quick scheme is understandable, since we prowl for fear in cinema, living vicariously through fictional characters and realistic situations. It's easy to attract audiences to see any old found footage film. Sure, they're cheap to make and easy to quadruple profits, but that could be said about any exploitative genre filmmaking. But seeing them as purely money-making machines detracts from the unique quality of found footage, which is realistic storytelling. An unrelenting look at human fear and how we react when faced with terrifying situations. When people say found footage is shit or something along those lines, it's a clear lack of appreciation for unique and riveting storytelling. Sure, there are examples of horrendous found footage films, but the standouts remain as some of the greatest in the realm of horror. One of the strong suits of found footage is that we often get to see independent filmmakers and actors display their talents. Despite how poor Fantastic Four really was, Josh Trank moved from found footage film to an enormous superhero blockbuster. Despite the constraints of his creative rights in the film, Trank is still a very talented filmmaker that would not have gotten the chance at this big studio film if not for his use of found footage. Even more recently with the Spanish Rec films, Jaume Balaguerro moved from independent European horror films to now writing scripts in Hollywood. It's an interesting progression that allows those who meddle in found footage to really move up the industry's food chain. It's one of the very few techniques that give independent filmmakers a voice and chance to showcase their talents. As a quick aside, the Rec films are outstanding. They switch in tone by the third film, going all Evil Dead 2 on the franchise. It's a wacky send-up to cheesy horror and speaks volumes of the potential offered up by found footage. It's important that a distinction is made. The issue with found footage is studios manipulating the box office with unnecessary sequels, not with found footage itself. As a single entity, it's a unique and impressive form of storytelling that bridges a gap between character and audience emotion. Give me that over a bland, normal horror film every day of the week. And just before ending this, I want to throw up a quick list of some of my favourite films that utilise found footage. course, these aren't all exclusively shot using the technique throughout the entire runtime, but there are some films here that boast impressive found footage scenes. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. New analysis and video essays every Thursday, every fortnight.